sorry about that, I got interrupted. So where was I? All right, so I'm linking up this chain of triggers and consequences. So the last consequence that I had was that H is in. I've added that. If H is in, that means, right, here's my consequence, that means that G is out, so I can add that. G being out triggers W to be out. Great, so W is out as well. Okay. Yeah, so I've actually used all 4 of my rules. Sometimes I've used the contrapositive, and sometimes I've used the original rule. All right, but I have used all 4 of these rules at some point in coming to this conclusion. So we started with the information that S is out, and we got all of these deductions from that. So 5 of our players, 5 out of 6, have set positions. All right, so all we need to know is that S is out, and we can know all of the other positions here. The only one that we the only one for which we can't determine its position is M. So M could be in or out. We don't know. Okay. But that actually gives me 2 potential acceptable solutions. All right, so one of them just H and J are in, and then the other one we would have H, J, and M. But in both of those acceptable solutions, S, G, and W are out. Yeah. So this is the kind of like depth of understanding that I would want you to have before going into the questions. Okay, so I mean, this side stuff, that's stuff that you should know, right? You should have that memorized. That should be information or like basic knowledge that you're applying regularly, that you've practiced applying. Yeah, that's kind of what you would do with this stuff. And then this is the way that I would write out the rules. Okay, there may be some other notation styles for these rules. I do find this to be the most simple and the most efficient. I really like having all of my triggers just lined up here. So what that allows me to do is when I get new information, I just scan this line. You know, does that information match up with any of these triggers? If it does, then I can go ahead to the consequence. Once I have that consequence, then I scan again. Does that consequence match up to anything on the left side? And I just go back and forth like that. What I can never do is I can never go backwards along an arrow, all right, unless it's a biconditional. So that's a whole other kind of side lesson on biconditionals. If you're interested in that, let me know. I can make a video about it, but there are also plenty of other videos. You can certainly just look up like what is a biconditional and maybe add LSAT in there so that it's you know, specifically targeting the application of that concept for LSAT prep. But yeah, that's the only time where you can actually kind of like backwards on an arrow. You have like, you end up with a double arrow in a biconditional. But with these, I mean, I'm never looking along the right side for triggers, right? So when I know something about H, I am always just going to look on the left side. So if I know H is in, then this is a trigger. If I know H is out, then that's a trigger. And that's it, right? M being out, for example, if I know that M is out, I don't know anything else, right? So that's not a trigger for any extra information. The fact that M is out over here as part of a consequence doesn't help me, okay? It doesn't help. So having things set up in this way just makes the process go a lot faster. So that's why I'd recommend doing it. I don't tend to make strong notation recommendations unless I really feel that it increases the efficiency of the process, right? So I mean, you can see like I'm not the most like organized person typically in my notation. Like the way I present things, I can be kind of messy and scribble around. but there are certain things that I do keep in a specific order, and I have a reason for doing so. So when I make those recommendations, it's it's not just like a superficial sort of thing. Okay. So hopefully that helps. If there are any specific questions that you'd like me to do, just like show you the process for that, let me know. I'd be more than happy to make another video. Okay, great. So good luck with the questions, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.